Thank you very much. So my name is Harry Hodges. I'm the head of volunteer recruitment of the Access Project. I'm alongside with my colleague Mary Skelton, who sends her apologies. Unfortunately, she was caught unwell this afternoon quite unexpectedly. Our responsibility is to bring in tutors to help work one-to-one with our young people. Now, our mission and our vision is focused around tackling education inequality. We see that access to higher education is one of the best levelers in our society. And for disadvantaged young people who have the talents and potentially the aspirations to go on and meet their potential, going to university, going to a good university, and really taking ownership and responsibility of their education from there can give such incredible stepping stones to really give them the opportunity and the access to make the best of their capabilities. And that's why we focus on higher education, access to higher education as our route into tackling education inequality. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of information throughout sort of the next 10 minutes, but I think one of the key points that we reinforce and we speak about is that we've been doing this for more than 10 years now. And what we've learned across this time is that it's not only the intention, but the outcome, the impact, which is important. So we know statistically that about 35% of students from a similar demographic to the ones we work with go on to a higher education institution. Now, in comparison, 67% of the young people we work with achieve the same thing. So we're able to say statistically, we make a significant difference to the journey, to the outcomes, to the education we offer to our young people. And the question of why is this particularly important now? We're in the midst of multiple crises across the country, across the world, everything from the cost of living crisis to the Ukraine war to numerous conflicts and the environmental crisis happening. What we say is that through tackling and working directly with young people, we're hoping to inspire the next generation. We're hoping to inspire the young people who go on and take ownership of these problems and most likely see through the solutions that we come up with. And I lump myself in this, that we might be able to present, but not necessarily see through. But moreover, the challenges that these young people have faced during the pandemic have really exacerbated the inequalities in our society. What we know is that during the pandemic, there was a 33% increase in how much education they were missing compared to their more affluent peers. This escalated to mean that on average, 1.2 hours per day, they were losing out on compared to their more affluent peers. This is everything from access to internet, access to good connections and laptops, ability and space to work in their homes to actually focus on the online environment. But what has this really exacerbated is the fact that A-levels, GCSEs, higher education, and even if you look further into jobs, applications are still remaining the same. You still have to achieve the same and everyone is graded similarly. And that's only fair that there's a comparable point. But when you are talking about inequalities of the opportunities young people have had compared to someone who might have had an online tutor, who might have had direct support from school, who might have had their parents there encouraging them, compared to somebody who didn't necessarily even have access to a computer, let alone the ability to get online to the online classes that schools were delivered. This is what we're trying to make up for. We're working directly with young people who struggled, who really suffered during this pandemic. And thankfully it's behind us, but the implications on the education and the outcomes are not, which is why this message today is just as important as any other day. And what our program really consists of, I've talked a little bit, obviously we mentioned about Sabodska contributions as a volunteer, but we offer a holistic program that works in 39 schools across the country. We work with almost 2,000 young people, and our model is designed to work directly with them in their school, where we have a member of staff who works in support with the teacher, who builds relationships with the parents, who delivers a holistic program around the young person. And that is complemented by a volunteer who delivers one-to-one academic tuition. Now, this is everybody from university students to retired individuals with intention and time to give back. This is all about paying forward your successes, your experience, and your knowledge, helping a young person make the very most of the ones that they have in front of them. And this, I think, is a really good just opportunity to say, I can say all of this, but it's not until you hear the words from someone like Chriso, someone who's been through our program, who's benefited from it and is really living her goals and her dreams, that this really puts into context. I think here it just talks about that as a volunteer and as a program, it goes beyond simply the outcomes, and it's actually about somebody caring, somebody being there for that young person, for them to know somebody's invested in their future, somebody cares as much as they do about what they're going on to achieve. And this is what tutoring students is actually like with us. It's 1 hour a week, entirely online, and it's delivered during term times from September to July. The sessions are an hour. They take about 30 minutes preparation time, and it's all delivered on a bespoke online program. So no matter where you might be, whether it be running a marathon in Cyprus or in Israel, you can tutor from the comfort of wherever you can take your laptop to. And as I mentioned, it's a subject that you choose to take on. So it might be something that you have had in your professional experience. It might be something that you've studied, whether that be recently or in recent history. And again, it's an opportunity for you to choose something that you're a little bit more comfortable, a little bit confident in doing. We provide comprehensive training, onboarding, and encouragement to enable and facilitate anybody. So we don't ask that you've got any experience tutoring or training, because actually we provide you with all of those resources, all of that support you need to be a great tutor. That's everything from the online tutorial resources to a community of volunteers, drop-ins to give you advice, as well as an online platform so that you can access and get on-demand resources as you need them. And putting a little bit of context for what that might mean for a volunteer, this is what Vicky has said. She's been with us for about 7 years tutoring, and she's herself approaching a great milestone of tuition. She's worked with 3 different tutors across her time, all periodically, rather than Sir Bod's incredible contributions doing 2 at once. And it's really great to hear Vicky kind of say what it's meant about this journey, not just about paying forward, but seeing the progress that somebody else has made and really having a tangible impact on them. And this is a little bit of details of where we work. So we work, as I mentioned, in 39 schools across the country. Most of those are London-based, and this year we have expanded into the Northwest. So this is a program that's developed across the country, and we have worked and developed to build new partnerships in the areas and in the demographics that really need us, which is why we've expanded our work in London, targeted the Northwest, and are looking to expand our work in Bradford over the coming years as well. And I think it's worth just clarifying exactly who are the young people we work with. They're not just a name or just a case study, but actually they're the individuals who really need them, not only based on the geographic areas where we're working, but within the school to make sure that the young people themselves are ones who will benefit from it, who don't necessarily have access to the resources to pay for private tuition or personal guidance, career advice outside of this. We know that 51% of our young people are eligible for pupil premium and 35% for free school meals. Now, a fact I learned relatively recently, to be eligible for free school meals, your family income has to be under £7,000 per annum. Your entire family income needs to be under £7,000 per annum. That is a stark mark of poverty, in my opinion. And that is exactly why we are investing our time and energy and our charitable resources to support these young people who wouldn't otherwise have this. And just to reinforce a little bit about that tangible impact that our volunteers make, we know that 77% of our young people at GCSE get a grade higher than what they were predicted. And across all 3 A levels, 55% of our young people improve by a grade, suggesting and I think reinforcing the idea that this isn't only about that one course, that one subject, but it's a holistic program that encourages them to take ownership of their education, to really take responsibility, grow in confidence, and really have more self-efficacy over what they're doing, learning those skills, really taking ownership of their studying and of their journey. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more about impact, please go to our website. We're very proud of our impact analysis, the work we've done with external charities and external organizations such as Impetus to reinforce this, and all of our data is there online. So I very much welcome any questions or critiques you have. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more after this, obviously you have Sir Bod here, who's an incredible ambassador and advocate for our work, but we've also got access to our website directly if you'd like to access via social media or a QR code, or similarly, simply just take a screenshot or a picture, and I'll post our website link into the chat bar in just a moment as well. That is everything from me. I would just like to say again, thank you so much for your hospitality and welcoming me and Mary, and I'd very much welcome any questions you might have.